The NXT universe held its collective breath as the Titans collided. In the main event of NXT No Mercy 2025, the immovable object, champion Oba Femi, stood across the ring from the unstoppable force, Ricky Saints. What followed was not just a wrestling match, it was a 20-minute epic of raw power, breathtaking resilience, and a stark narrative of two contrasting paths to glory. When the final bell echoed through the arena, it was Oba Femi who stood tall, his NXT championship reign solidified by surviving the most formidable challenge of his career. From the opening bell, the strategy was clear. Ricky Saints, the high-flying daredevil with a heart that outweighs his frame, knew he could not trade power with the Nigerian colossus. He used his speed and agility, creating angles, ducking clotheslines, and peppering Femi with sharp, stinging kicks to the legs. He was a matador facing a bull, and for a moment, it seemed to work. A dive to the outside and a flurry of offense in the corner had the champion momentarily reeling. But Oba Femi is not a man who reels for long. With a guttural roar, he shut down Saints' momentum with terrifying finality. A single, thunderous forearm sent Saints crashing to the mat. The match quickly transformed into a brutal display of Femi's dominance. He tossed Saints around the ring like a ragdoll, delivering blistering chops that echoed through the arena and a series of power slams that looked like they could end the night at any moment. The story of the match became one of survival. How much punishment could Ricky Saints absorb? The answer, as it turned out, was an almost superhuman amount. Just when it seemed Femi was lining up for his devastating powerbomb finisher, Saints would find a desperate counter, a last-second dodge, or a small package that forced the champion to shift his focus. Hope was a flickering flame for the challenger, but it refused to be extinguished. The crescendo of the match was a sequence that will be replayed for years to come. After weathering Femi's storm, Saints finally hit his signature maneuver, a breathtaking top rope hurricanrana that planted the massive champion square in the center of the ring. The crowd erupted as Saints ascended the turnbuckle for his Saints landing, frog splash, the entire building believing an upset was imminent. But in a display of pure, terrifying athleticism, Oba Femi got his knees up. The impact was sickening, and the air was sucked out of the arena. As Saints clutched his ribs in agony, a cold determination settled on Femi's face. This was the end. He hauled the dazed Saints to his feet, hoisted him onto his shoulders with terrifying ease, and delivered not one, but two consecutive power bombs. The second one was delivered with extra venom, a final, emphatic statement. Femi made the cover, and the referee's hand slapped the mat for the 3 count. As his music hit, Oba Femi retrieved his NXT championship, the gold gleaming under the lights. He looked down at the vanquished Ricky Saints, not with contempt, but with a look of hard-earned respect. Saints had pushed him to his absolute limit, exposing a vulnerability we had not yet seen in the dominant champion. For Ricky Saints, the loss is heartbreaking, but his valiant performance cemented his status as a main event player. For Oba Femi, this was more than a retention, it was a trial by fire. He was tested, he was pushed, and in the end, his power proved to be the defining force. The Nigerian Titan remains your NXT champion, and after a war like that, the question is no longer about who can challenge him, but who would be brave enough to try.